County's requiring us to have everyone stay up top on the open air deck unless you need to use the restroom. Also, masks, 6 feet of distance, stay safe. We're gonna have a super good time out there today. Should be pretty good conditions offshore. It's about 3-4 feet at 15 seconds. Maybe it doesn't mean anything to you, but what it means for us is a fairly smooth ride. If you guys do experience any kind of seasickness, pull one of us. We got some tips and tricks for you. We do have seasickness bags if you need it.
Oh, look at all that seaweed down there. We gotta walk a little faster. Everybody's waiting on us. Yep, see, there's the Glory, because Gloria and I love it because there's Marietta and Glorietta.
Yeah.
Good morning, welcome aboard, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning, you guys. Welcome. Just go back to where that young lady is.
Let's go down this way, Damien.
Good morning. Welcome.
Hi. The stairs up to the seating area are right here for you. Good morning.
Yep, and that's the front where the dolphins like to jump up with the water.
Cruises and events and flagship cruises and events. My name is Charles. I'll be your captain today. Sorry, guys. So before we get out of here, just gotta go over a few things. First, state of California coronavirus regulations. Just like everywhere else in the state, we have to operate by all the regulations set forth by the state of California. Those state masks are required at all times during the trip.
Where's Ricky's car? I think that's it over there.
It is.
It's pretty fast, huh? You want to go to the front? Yeah, let's go to the front. No, not yet.
Inspected passenger vessel. What that means to you is that we have lots of safety equipment on the boat. Most important thing you need to be aware of are life jackets. Life jackets can be found throughout the boat. Alright, so like I said, we are going out to the open ocean today. We are going to be rock and rolling a little bit, so just please be very careful when you're walking around the boat. It is always a good idea to have one hand on a railing or something solid when you're walking around, especially if you are going up and down the stairs. And if you're going down to the restroom at the very bottom of the boat, please be careful as those stairs are a bit steeper. If you have small children with you today, it's an amphibious transport dock designed to transport United States Marines. We pulled up to 2,800 Marines when they're being deployed. Yeah, 26 of the USS.
I've never been on one of those.
No?
Nothing special.
Let me know. I'm gonna have lots of cool stuff to show you throughout the trip. And yeah, if you have any questions, I can answer them for you. I like that. So you like jokes? Can I tell you a really silly, corny joke? Okay. What is a sea lion's favorite subject in school? You don't even know? A sea lion's favorite subject is art. Get it? Ah, I told you I only only have the silly ones, so.
I'm gonna hear that joke every day for weeks though, don't worry.
That's awesome. Well, I'm Danielle. I'm going to be walking around. I'll be able to answer any of the questions you have or just share some fun facts and information if you're interested. I'll also have some cool stuff I'll be sharing throughout the trip that you can check out, including some whale teeth later on. Yeah, is it because of this stuff on top that you're talking about? Well, sometimes whales do get scratched. You'll see a lot of times that sometimes they have bites out of their tail when they're swimming around. And sometimes they have scratches, and those can be either from predators that might have tried to attack them when they were younger and they survived, or sometimes it could be from hitting other things that are out there like nets, or hopefully not boats, but sometimes it does happen where boats can hit the whales. So we do see scratches on wild whales that are out there. But this stuff is totally different. Do you have any idea what this stuff is on its body? Yeah, you're totally right. So there are two animals that live on a gray whale. One, you're right, is barnacles. And they just hitch a ride. They secrete this sticky stuff that's like cement, and they glue onto the whale. And they eat plankton in the water. So they get like a free food buffet for their whole life by riding on that whale. And then the second thing, you think of something like can sometimes get in people's hair and make you itchy? Ooh, not fleas. You're really, really close though. Have you ever heard of lice?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't like lice. Whales get their own type of lice. So they have sea lice or whale lice, and it looks totally different than ours. They're related to crabs and lobsters. So they look kind of like little crabs, and they eat the dead skin off of the whale. So it's like a whale spa. So it doesn't hurt them.
I have something to tell you. So,
Tell me.
one time I went to La Jolla Beach, and
I love La Jolla.
At the end, I only said I thought, but a sea snail is stuffed into the cage.
Oh, that's awesome.
It stayed in the cage, and when I got home, my mom noticed we took all the sea snail. We had it out of
So
bed.
you got a pet sea snail? An accidental pet sea snail.
Yeah, but we never.
Damien is having a blast talking to her, asking a bunch of questions. We're getting farther out, but the fog's getting really thick. Like, well, it's hard to see with my sunglasses on in the fog, but we'll see if it clears up.
See, it's tilted.
Yeah, it's cool, huh?
I'm not even seasick. Actually, I'm not
Look,
really feel that.
there's seaweed.
I think it's a werewolf there.
Where? Oh, yeah, no, it's not a whale. It's a pelican. It's a big pelican. That's like in Finding Nemo.
We do have a pretty good forest of it down here in Southern California.
So we're near the Kelp
California's got
Forest.
that giant forest. They got this quite the redwoods down here in Southern California. We do have a giant forest just water. So kelp is actually the second fastest growing plant in the world behind bamboo, and it's one of the main sources of oxygen on the planet. There's a lot of people think of the Amazon rainforest. Almost all the oxygen the planet uses stays right there in the Amazon forest. So one of our oxygen stuff we have here. Sea life also problems.
I don't see any kelp. But we've been to the redwood forest, and now we're at the kelp forest. No, we've been to the redwood forest. You were really little, though.
Alrighty folks, well yeah, not looking too promising with this fog. I was hoping it would burn off. We're gonna try to punch out a little bit farther, but if it doesn't start clearing up soon, we might have to be turning the motor around because it's just the way it goes. So yeah, we're gonna just gonna go a little bit farther, see if we can get out and get out to where there's some sun, but there's nothing. I think we're gonna probably have to turn the
It's just a
motor
free
around.
boat trip and then another free thing next time, huh?
And our other whales are baleen whales. So baleen, I'll show you. I have a plate of baleen I'll be able to share with everyone in a little bit. But the baleen, it looks kind of like the bristles of a toothbrush. If you want to hold on to that right now, you can. That way we're not wobbling. There you go. So the baleen, it's made out of the same stuff as your hair and your fingernails. So it's made out of keratin. And they eat little tiny, tiny things in the ocean with that. I'll show you that a little later. Plankton and, do you know the other one? It looks like small shrimp. Do you know what it's called? It starts with a K. Ooh, really close. Krill. You ever heard of krill before?
No, I never knew about that.
Ah, good. I have some krill. I will show you all as well. But, you know, some whales have teeth, right? So these are all the toothed whales. You might notice that whales that have teeth are much smaller than whales that have baleen, with one exception. See this whale on the bottom? That is a sperm whale. And I happen to have a sperm whale tooth right there. So you can see how large that tooth is compared to the size of that whale. Now, most people, when you think of a toothed whale, you think of an orca, right? Like Shamu, killer whale. So here's a killer whale tooth. So I'm going to put it right next to that killer whale right there. I'll come around and I'll show everyone really quick. You can see that. There we go. These ones are replicas because there is a protection against marine mammals. So you have to have permits in order to own anything from a marine mammal. So these ones are exact replicas though. They took a real one and they molded it and they turned it into this so you can see how big it is and exactly what it would look like. So it looks just like that. Now you see that the orcas are way smaller than the gray whale, right? But the orcas are predators of the gray whale. So even though they're bigger, they actually go after their young. They go after the calves, the baby whales. So the way that the orcas try to get the baby whales, they actually try to push them under the water. They try to drown them. So the mommy whales are not helpless. They can protect their young. And what they'll do is they'll give their babies a little piggyback ride, keep them at the surface so that those orcas can't get to them. But orcas do get about 3 in every 10 gray whale babies. So they do have some trouble.
Did I say it hurts?
Yeah,
Does
you
anyone
can
have
sit
any
there.
questions about any of this? Any questions? Not yet? Alright. Well, don't worry. I have some baleen and I have some krill. I'll show you in a little bit. How about over here? Do any of you have any questions? No?
Alright, so they made us turn around because it's too foggy to see anything. So we'll see if there's anything on the way back, but it looks like we may have to come back and do a different trip, which is disappointing, but maybe the next trip will be super awesome or something. But it's also freezing cold and my hands are going numb. Is that the krill?
That's the krill.
Wow. Those are actually real krill?
Yeah, those are real krill, I promise.
They're dead, right?
Yeah, they're not alive anymore. They're in a solution that helps make sure that they don't decay or go away. So they're not alive anymore, but they were. And this is the baleen plate.
Let's see that.
Yeah, here I can hold it right up here so you can see it. Just don't drop it for me. But this is blue whale baleen. So very, very similar to gray whale baleen. Gray whale baleen is just a lighter color. And they would have about 150 of these in their mouth, all put together so that they can scoop up all this food and filter feed.
Reminds me of the stuff on the palm trees.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I've had a lot of people tell me, did you rip that off a tree? Why are you carrying around
Yeah,
that?
it looks
no,
like it.
I promise this is real whale baleen.
You could put that on the ground next to a tree and
I
no
know.
one would walk by it.
Yep. They would have no idea. Yeah. So gray whales whales are also one of the only whales that like to eat food underneath the mud in the bottom of the ocean. So this stuff is usually floating around in a big school, but they sometimes will eat other stuff down in the mud called amphipods. And just like humans are right or left-handed, gray whales are too. Most gray whales they consider to be right-handed because they turn on their right side to scoop up the mud at the bottom. So most of the baleen on the right side of their mouth is worn down.
By the way, just letting you know, I'm actually right-handed.
Oh, perfect. So, yep, you would be one of those right-handed whales. Now, some whales, just like some humans, are left-handed. So you'll see a few that prefer the left side, and then the baleen on their left side is a little bit more worn down. Do you have any questions about the krill or the baleen?
Actually, I have something to tell you. That actually looks like something I got on Animal Crossing. So small.
It is so small. I know. You can see how little they are in there.
I know.
And then you can see some of the bigger ones.
Kind of like the size of a plate.
It looks like what?
It kind of looks like a plate.
A plant? Yeah. So think about how big those whales are. Think about how much of this they would have to eat to be full. Do you think this would make you full? That wouldn't make me very full. So they have to eat a lot of this in order to be full.
Like, they're even longer than this.
Oh yeah, so actually you see that flag right behind you? Alright, and then you see those stairs over there? The stairs to go down to the bottom of the boat, or the stairs to go up to the top? That is the size of an adult gray whale. And a blue whale would be larger than this boat. So a gray whale is about 50 feet long.
There's actually a red whale kind.
Ah, nope, no red whales. There's a white whale, but it's called a beluga.
What?
There's a white whale, but it's called a beluga.
That's like a double pine. There's such a thing as a double pine.
Like I said, we're going to give you a little bit of a harbor tour. We're probably going to be getting back a little bit earlier than 12:30. But we'll go around the bay, point out some interesting facts for you. So first thing, we've got Point Loma here on the port hand side. That is the southwesternmost point of the U.S. Home to the Cabrillo National Monument, which is our national park here in San Diego. Down at the edge of the very tip of the point, the new Point Loma Lighthouse and a Coast Guard station. Up higher on the hill, you can see the old Point Loma Lighthouse, which was built in the 1850s, operated for about 30 years, but it was moved. It ended up being decommissioned, and the light was moved down to the point because with all these marine layers that we get off the coast of San Diego, perfect example today, that light was basically ineffective. Ships could not see the light that high up on the hill, so they had to move it farther down on the point. Well, it looks like over here on the right-hand side, we've got a little sea lion on this red buoy. We're going to head into the bay and check out some more sea lions so you guys get to see some animals today, but looks like a little guy sleeping right there.
See, Damien? I told you sometimes they like to sleep on those and like get warm in the sun.
It'd be smarter them to give out the vouchers for on days that they don't have that.
Whoa! Boat's definitely rocking. Just don't know how noticeable it is on camera. I haven't looked through them now. Yeah? Hey, Damien. Damien. Damien, use your binoculars and look at that.
We're back.
We're laughing because this boat is being followed by a bunch of seagulls and they keep landing on it.
The hitchhiking fly.
Yeah, like the hitchhiking fly that was in our car.
Hitchhiking bird now.
a submarine. Those two cranes prop up submarines so they can work on them. But she was saying there's no submarine propped up right now. But hello, bird. Well, it found something and it dove under the water. Anyway, so that's where they would work on submarines. And then next to it, she said that, oh, there it is. There's a submarine pulled up next to the dock over there. There's people. Over there, that's the submarine. Whoops, next to the dock. In front of that white ship. It's like parked right across from it. It's under the water. You can just see the top of it.
That where cucumbers are.
What's the difference between a seal and a sea lion? Yes, those little birds. Yep. Okay, Damien, look. So normally the dog here would have lots of like sea lions and stuff sleeping on it and laying in the sun and getting warm. Oh, there's some down there near the end. But sometimes this whole area is covered with them. And right now we got a lot of birds on it. But there's a bunch of seals at the end there. Look at the other side. It's also stinky now, huh? Ooh, that one pooped.
Flying down into the water to try to eat some of that fish.
Yeah. I like this
Of course I've watched SpongeBob, absolutely. Oh, see this guy? Look at see the ring around his neck? See, it looks like he's wearing kind of a necklace. That means that at some point that horsey line has a fishing wire around its neck. So whenever we see that, we tell the people. Actually, a lot of the people on SeaWorld restaurants. Oh, look at this little guy. He's crossing.
Oh, it's so cute. Babe, it's so cute. Yeah. It's so little. There were some big old fatty ones on there. No, it's so little.
Naval Air Station North Island, the north part of Coronado Island, the birthplace of naval aviation back in the early 1900s. This was just basically a giant field where people would come out and hunt rabbits. It was bought by the U.S. Army and eventually was shared by the U.S. Army. Like I said earlier, it's about 215 feet high. That had to be that high to make sure you can get all those Navy ships under there. You can start seeing the Navy ships up in the fog in front of us. Naval base on 32nd Street. That is the largest naval base on the West Coast, second largest only to Norfolk, Virginia. Like I said earlier, the Coronado Bay Bridge was completed in 1969. It was a tow bridge from 1969 to 2002. So 40 years. Once it is now free, but interesting fact about the bridge is that when it was being built, to get federal funding, it had to be at least 2 miles long, and basically there's no way that it was going to be able to be that long because the bay is not that far across. So when they designed it, they actually put that curve into it, lengthening it 0.1 miles, so it makes it 2.1 miles long, which therefore made it eligible for federal funding, which is kind of cool. So we're going to be kind of passing right underneath it. Really cool view. You can see the stanchions that are holding it up. It's undergoing a big paint job, and there's a British firm that has a contract installing millions of small LED lights across the bridge. It's taken several years, but basically we're trying to install lights across the entire bridge. Each of these little tiny LED bulbs can change up to 1,000 different color shades, so they're going to be able to display it in a variety of different colors throughout the year. Still a lot of time left to get that completed, but in the past couple months, we just started turning those lights on at night.
So this little area here with these trees and stuff. Okay, well this building right there, that's where they have like San Diego Comic Con, and then this area here with all the trees, that's where the Fallout Boy concert was that I went to in 2000. It was either 2006 or 2007. It was on April Fool's Day. It's the only concert I've ever been to, and it was Fallout Boy, Hawthorne Heights, All American Rejects, Hush Sound or Hush Puppies, something. One of the bands I didn't know, and then one other one that I can't remember. But it was right here, and that was really fun. And then, yeah, that's the Comic Con building, the convention center.
I was telling Damien those are mooring lines.
Yeah, mooring lines.
Is it gonna hold it? Yeah, it's holding. We could have made it a little tighter.
If our picture blows out of there, I'll be very sad.
Why? You want to buy it?
I want to see if it's good. I want to buy it. But even if it's bad, I'll probably buy it.
Well, you might have to tighten up that midship.
All right, but as you can see, we've docked, we've landed. We are cold and hungry. Let's go get food.
Just gotta tighten it up.